Hey guys, this is John from US Dash Camera. Today got a review on the new DR750X3 Plus from Blackvue. Now Blackvue did send this review unit out to me for review, so I'd like to thank them. They also sent me the 3-channel DMS version, which I will talk about in another video. This video I just want to focus on the main 3-channel Plus model because this is the one that most consumers would be interested in. Now if you're familiar with Blackvue cameras, you know that they have single channel, 2-channel, and now 3-channel models. This is the first generation of 3-channel models. So what you're going to have with this model is the front camera, the rear camera, and then an interior camera. Now with the front camera, you're going to get 1080p 60. The rear camera, you're going to get 1080p 30. And then the interior camera is going to be 720p 30. Now that might be disappointing to some people because there are competitors that have 3-channel cameras with higher resolutions overall, and we're going to talk about that when we look at the video. Now if you're new to Blackvue cameras or dash cameras in general, Blackvue is known for having a really excellent parking mode. Over the past few years they've developed a cloud feature where you can upload clips from your dash camera to the cloud for storage, where you can view live streams of your car anywhere in the world if you have your camera connected to the 4G LTE connection. Or you can receive notifications such as when your car is parked somewhere and the dash camera is running in parking mode. If someone impacts your car, it will send a notification to your phone alerting you and can automatically upload that clip to the cloud. You can view that clip from your phone, or you can also view a live stream and see what's going on. Of course, in the past, you were only able to see either just the front or just the front and rear. So now with this 3-channel model, of course, you're going to be able to see inside of your car. With this interior camera, even when it's pitch black, you're going to be able to see in the dark. Now, it is only 720p, but I would say that it is high enough resolution that you can still see clearly what's going on, even at night. But there are competitors with 1080p interior cameras, and they're 3-channel models, so some people might be disappointed. But you also have to remember, this camera has not only one of the top-of-the-line parking modes, it also adds that cloud functionality that no other competitor really has. If you're looking for higher resolution in all 3 channels, you might have to look at one of the competitors. Now, the cloud functionality starts with a free membership for one camera system. So obviously this is one camera system. If you have multiple vehicles and want to use several Blackvue cameras, you will need to upgrade to one of the plans that costs monthly, and the more cameras you have, the more it costs. I'll provide a link down in the description to where you can check that out. I don't want to focus too much on that. Most people are likely going to be just running one camera on the free plan, but you do also have to consider the fact that if you are using that 4G LTE connection, you do have to have a SIM card. I personally recommend the T-Mobile 2GB plan. I pay only $10 a month for it, and that gives me enough data to be able to once in a while check videos, view a live stream a few minutes at a time once in a while, or just receive many notifications because the notifications aren't going to take much data. So I have reviewed most of the Blackvue cameras over the last 6 or 7 years. One of the first things people are going to wonder is, how is the video quality? Now, you do have to remember that with more channels, the lesser the quality typically is. That is the same with competitors such as Viafo. Their 3-channel cameras video quality is not as good as their single or 2-channel systems. It's not any different here. Like I said earlier, if you want the best video quality in a 3-channel system, this likely won't be it, but you're sacrificing some of that for the more advanced cloud features and parking mode. I think most people are going to be pretty satisfied with this camera during the day, but just looking at it at first glance, I could tell that the video quality doesn't look as good as the 750X 2-channel, definitely not as good as the 900X 2-channel. Now currently there is no 900X 3-channel camera. If you aren't familiar with these model names, the 750X model is basically the best 1080p camera system from Blackvue. 1080p 60 front, 1080p 30 rear, where the 900X has 4K 30 front and 1080p 30 rear. So there is no 900X 3 channel yet. I think the interior with 720p, as I said, it's good enough. It gets the job done. You can recognize faces inside, and at night, of course, with the automatic IR lights, you can see in complete darkness. And I think this is definitely going to be something more for Uber drivers, Lyft drivers, or people that drive company vehicles, or I should say companies that have fleets might want to install something like this in their company vehicles. A lot of typical drivers might not care for this interior camera at all, and you might opt for the 2-channel system because those are going to have better video quality front and rear anyways. Now the rear definitely looks okay during the day, but at night it definitely suffered. Now I do have to note that I have been recording this test footage in the winter. It's been below freezing every day, and it's really hard to get my windows really clean. A lot of times as I'm driving, any moisture on the road, salt and stuff, gets on my window pretty much immediately and creates some of these weird light reflections and stuff. So it's probably not the best footage you'll see. I did notice at night that reading signs and license plates was definitely harder with both the front camera and the rear camera. So again, going back to what I said a few minutes ago, I think a lot of people, ordinary drivers, you're probably better off opting for the 2-channel system, at least until the 3-channel models get better video quality. I feel like the video quality of the front and rear on these is sort of several years back on what the 2-channel systems used to be like a few years ago. And I don't know if a lot of people would want to trade that video quality off for that interior camera. Now, since this is one of the Plus models, it does have some of the new features that the 2-channel Plus models had recently, such as a lot easier Wi-Fi connection where you don't have to type in a password or SSID, which you had to in the past. It still has one available. If for some reason the quick connection doesn't work, you can still type that in, but it's a lot easier. It takes several seconds to connect to it now. Then once you have it all set up, it is very easy to access. Now you can access the menu through the Wi-Fi, or if you have the cloud functionality with the 4G LTE, you can change the settings or view any of your files anywhere in the world as long as the camera is still powered and connected to the cellular network. As I said earlier, I would recommend the T-Mobile 2GB data plan. When you're setting up your camera, you're just going to have to search for the specific carrier you're using and then enter that into the menu, and it might have a username and password, but for my case, I didn't need anything and it connected just fine. Now, in order to use the parking mode, you are going to have to hardwire this. This does come with a hardwiring kit. You don't need the PowerMagic Pro anymore. The newer models in the last year or so have included hardwiring kits built in or included in the box where it's just wires. There's no dip switch box like the PowerMagic Pro. Now, because hardwiring is going to be different in every car, I typically don't show how to install the hardwiring kit, but I will provide a link down in the description to where you can view the Blackboxmycar hardwiring guide. It is very helpful. It goes into hardwiring several different types of dash cameras, different hardwiring kits, including from Blackvue, so check that out down in the description. Part of the reason the Blackvue parking mode is so popular is because it has automatic buffered parking mode. So if you're using the standard motion detection and impact detection with the automatic buffered mode, when someone walks in front of your car or if it's dark and something impacts your car, it saves 5 seconds leading up to the impact and then either continues to record for about a 30-second clip, or if there's motion, it'll continue to record as long as there's motion. Some cheaper dash cameras have parking mode where it'll just wake up and start recording when it senses something, but oftentimes it doesn't start recording for several seconds after. So this gives a lot of people peace in mind that they're not going to miss anything in their parking mode recordings. There's also a time-lapse option, which can be useful for people that park in high traffic areas where it's basically going to be recording non-stop and then filling up your memory card every day. Now this camera does support up to 256 gigabyte memory cards, and the current memory card I recommend is either the Samsung Pro Endurance, but that only goes up to 128 gigabytes. So what I've been using is the Sandisk Max Endurance, which does go up to 256 gigabytes. And those cards are both rated for dash camera use, and it's very important on cameras like these where they're recording so long for such long periods of time that the memory cards need to be able to withstand that recording. So that's why I use those memory cards and recommend them. One little funky thing about this setup is the fact that it still only has one micro USB port on the camera, and both the 4G LTE module and the third channel interior camera need micro USB. So if you have both the interior camera and the 4G LTE connection, you have to use this little splitter, and it sort of makes it a complicated mess. And you can see here in my installation, I didn't tuck it all away because there's only so much space for all of these cords to go. I wrapped them in some Velcro and just tried to keep it up out of the way. But I'd love to see a next gen model that has inputs for the 4G module and a third channel interior camera that are separate, that don't require a splitter. The interior camera should just use the same coaxial cable that the rear camera uses, and that could make them swappable. I thought it was a little strange how they have a coax cable for the rear camera, but micro USB for the interior camera. So guys, overall, I think this is a very awesome camera, although you're making sacrifices to have that interior camera. Me personally, I'm going to switch back to the 900X2 channel once I'm done testing the 3-channel DMS model after this review. While I like the ability to be able to see inside of my vehicle even during parking mode with that Blackvue Cloud option, I'd still prefer to have the better video quality front and rear. Now, as I said earlier in the video, for companies with fleets or delivery vehicles, or as I said, Uber drivers, Lyft drivers, maybe that sacrifice is worth it. Maybe you really want that interior camera and you want the advanced parking mode and cloud features. Then right now Blackvue is a great option. It offers so many more features that no other company currently can compete with. If you guys are interested in purchasing this camera or any of the other cameras I mentioned, check down in the description. I'll have some affiliate links from Amazon and also Blackboxmycar.com, which does offer a discount. The discount should be provided automatically if you use those links. Otherwise, try the coupon code listed down below. So guys, I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions, leave a comment down in the comments. If I missed anything, let me know. If this video was helpful, I'd appreciate if you hit like and subscribe. And as usual, drive safe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.